prayer before we start our meeting. I've asked Commissioner Dorsey if he would lead us in this prayer at this time.
Let's pray. Our precious Heavenly Father, we thank you for the opportunity to live in a country where we're free to go about our daily activities without influence from others. We ask that you be with the many men and women overseas in our armed forces that are protecting us and fought for our freedoms that we have today, and be with those both past, present, and future, and keep them free of harm's way and bring them home safely to their families. I ask that you be with each of those in emergency services that are doing the same thing, keeping us safe and free from danger. We thank you for the many blessings that you've bestowed upon us, and it's in your name we pray. Amen.
All right, thank you. Let's all stand and recite the pledge, please. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We'll call to order our January 25th, 2022 Board of Commissioners meeting, and I'd like to welcome each of you that are in-house and those maybe watching by YouTube or HTC Channel 3 at our Hart Cable Company. We welcome all of you. First item of business to approve the agenda.
I'd like to add a executive session for real estate and litigation.
Personnel too.
Personnel, okay.
Okay. Is that a?
That's all.
Okay. Anybody else have any? Okay.
I make a motion we approve the agenda with them changes.
Second.
We got a motion by Commissioner Teasley and a second by Commissioner Dorsey. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's a 5-0 vote. All right. We'll go on to our minutes. January 11th, regular meeting. You've had a chance to look those over. Are there any additions or corrections that need to be made? If not, can we call for a vote? Motion to accept the minutes.
I make a motion we approve the regular meeting minutes on 1/11/22.
Okay.
I'll second.
We got a second by Commissioner Carter, a motion by Commissioner Teasley. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. Okay, next minutes of the 1/18, that was a call meeting where we done the Green Meadows and the worked on the subdivision ordinance. Can I get a motion we approve these minutes?
I make that motion we approve them minutes on 1/18/22.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Teasley.
I got something to say about it. It says right here, Mr. Mark Coleman, attorney for Mr. Williams, spoke on behalf of Mr. Williams. It should be on behalf.
My fault.
Yeah. You want a second?
Yeah, I'll give you a second.
Okay. We got a second by Commissioner Carter. Any other discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote.
Who's second? I'm sorry,
I made the motion.
Ricky.
Commissioner Carter. Remarks by invited guests, committees, or authorities? We have none. Reports by constitutional officers, department heads. Does the county attorney have anything at this time? All right, county administrator's report.
I have nothing tonight, sir.
Okay. All right, we'll move on down to the chairman's report, and I would like to say that, oh, by the way, each of you got an invitation to the Hart County Charter System Strategic Planning Education Summit. That's February 10th, 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. And Mr. Floyd wanted me to announce that lunch would be provided. So if any of y'all can attend to that, they're hoping we can be there. All right, the other, we've had some good news to come to Hart County that's been in the work for a while, but it's just announced today about Titan Steel Door. They're going to invest $11 million and create over 90 jobs here in Hart County. So we appreciate the IBA for the work they've done to get this here. And there's some articles about this on WLHR and other news outlets if you want to go and read more about that. But I think that's pretty big for Hart County with the existing industries we already have. And this is just another addition that I think is going to be great for the people of Hart County. That's all I have as chairman report. District 1, Commissioner Bennett.
I got just a few people calling about our culverts are stopped up due from the snow and rains that we've had, but our road superintendent's taking care of that. Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Okay. District 2, Commissioner
I
Teasley.
appreciate our law enforcement, first responders, EMS, fire department. We got Jerry Byerman here with us tonight, and appreciate the job that all them guys do.
Okay. District 4, Commissioner Carter.
I got nothing.
Thank you. District 5, Commissioner Dorsey.
Yeah, just basically a teaser for more to come later. When you look at our census numbers, Hart County census numbers went up 615 people over the last 10 years. 615. I don't believe those numbers. I think our population has grown significantly more than 615 people. And starting to look at some other data, and here's one that really stands out. If you look at all the construction and everything that's going on, and you look at neighboring counties, Hart County is growing slower than county, like Franklin County, for example. I just don't believe that. Hart County in 2012 had 12,746 registered voters. 2020, we had 18,292, an increase of 5,546. I know that the argument can be made that people got registered to vote, but I don't believe there were that many people in this county over that time period who were not eligible to vote. I think there's a big big gap in the data. This is very concerning because census data is used for funding financial things. And I think that it's in our best interest that we appeal our census numbers. And Terrell and I talked briefly. Right now, you can't appeal these things if the opportunity is closed, is my understanding. But we need to be prepared.
We have till the 31st, at least of this month.
Okay. That's something we need to think about, and I think we need to appeal these numbers. We've got to come up with our own number of what we think it's going to be, but I definitely feel like we owe it to ourselves and our citizens to appeal this. This will come in under loss negotiations, any other grant applications that we may have. Redistricting is going to be impacted by this, but I just do not believe that number is right. And I know we hadn't had a chance to really review this. It's something I've been looking at the last couple of days. And didn't get a chance to get it on the agenda because we wanted to find out when the appeal period was. But I think we need to appeal it.
Well, if it runs out at the end of the month, you ought to make a motion and let's get it going.
That's for turning in some information, requesting a review.
Okay.
Well, I'm going to make a motion if that's the process, if that's what we got to do first.
Yeah, all you can do is question it. You can't, it's not an appeal.
We can,
you question the numbers, and there's certain things that may change, and there's a lot of things that won't change.
Is there application for this that we have to question their numbers?
I don't have them with me. I've looked
Is there a
at it.
process? I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah, there's a process for everything. And so,
Well, can-
you have to state the reason you're questioning and what exactly you are questioning.
Well, I'm going to make a motion that we start the process. And
I'll second that
have the county
motion.
administrator do that. And you look at a lot of things, look at our inmate population in the jail back when we were in 2012 versus where we're at today. Well, it's a huge increase.
Let me ask
And there's a lot of things that correlate there.
How many people is in the prison out there?
400 something, but they're not counted in the census.
I know, but they used to be.
Yeah, they used to be. That's one,
So if they
that's,
took them out,
Still not right.
that would have something to do with the number.
that would alter the numbers, correct.
We should be around 28, 29,000, I think, not 26.
But I agree with you, Commissioner Dorsey. I don't think these numbers are right. However, through this process of questioning, will these numbers change? I mean, I don't want to give the people a false hope out here that we're going to get the numbers changed. That's not necessarily true. I mean,
My experience when we went through loss before, the city of Hartwell appealed their census numbers and they actually got a slight increase. I don't know what it was. It wasn't a big increase. It was small, but they did get an increase. But I just feel like these numbers mean too much to this county, and we need
Yeah,
to
I agree.
look at it.
but there's nothing wrong with questioning.
We can question, again, now, what that actually means is if they find substantial errors, they'll correct them, that's all. That's all it changes. It don't change anything else.
We should be able to pull some stuff together and kind of put together an estimate.
Well, we still need an more accurate number then. I'm with everybody else. I think it's increased far more than 615 people.
I think so, too.
Well, actually, once you pull the prison, that increased about 1,000.
Franklin County was over 1,500. But I don't think they had the big increase in voter registration either.
You got the list of how much each district grew?
Yeah, I've emailed it to y'all before. I'll be glad to get it back to you again.
Yeah, but the thing about it, it seemed like them numbers would tally up to more than 600 people.
That's just new census numbers.
Oh, but each district like...
Well, it's not necessarily the total number may change, it's the location of the numbers. If that makes sense. They go by blocks where X number of people are located in this one spot. So that could move back and forth without the actual census numbers itself changing.
Okay.
If you want the numbers by voting precinct, I can give you those.
Well, it'd be nice if we looked at all the numbers.
Well, I can give them. Well, I mean, I think you got to. But to me, that was one of the first places to start looking at, was to see what was going on there.
But the voting precincts is not going to make us accurate, though.
No, but it just shows you where the growth was in the county and increased by the precinct, not district or anything like that, because you can't break it out like that.
You know, that showed where the increase in voter registration was at.
Right. So,
All right, we got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey and a second by Commissioner Bennett to question the census here in Hart County.
It'll have to be by the vote, and the chairman will have to actually make the request. I'll get the paperwork ready, but the chairman has to make the request after vote.
well, I'll make a motion authorizing the chairman to request it, just amend it that way.
Okay. So we got a motion to question it and authorizing me to request for it to be questioned.
I second that amendment.
Okay, with second, with Commissioner Bennett, any other discussion?
Just to give you an idea, Hartwell precinct increased from 4,883 in 2012 to 7,000 in 2020. Gold mine increased from 1,396 in 2012 to 2021 in 20. Cokesbury increased from 847 in 2012 to 1196 in 2020. Reed Creek increased from 2387 in 12 to 3285 in 2020. Bowersville increased from 970 in 2012 to 1495 in 2020. Shoal Creek increased from 1266 to 1854 in 2020. And Bio increased from 997 in 2012 to 1441 in 2020. So that's just an 8-year span. The census was a 10-year span. So definitely some disconnects in the numbers, in my opinion.
Okay. We got a motion to second. Any other discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. All right. Go ahead, Mr. Chair. Mr. Dorsey.
Just one other thing, just want to give a shout out to Terrell and all our emergency services and this latest weather event we had last weekend, and in the last couple of weeks.
It's not me, it's everybody else.
Yeah, but you coordinated all the planning, and everybody did a great job. No significant issues. A lot goes into this for those of you that don't know. It starts days and weeks before. And we got a great group of folks who take care of us. So that's all I've got.
All right. Thank you, Commissioner Dorsey. We'll move on down to old business, 12A, jail meal bid opening.
We received 2 bids.
Okay. Just give one to Frankie. One to...
This right here is from T's Kitchen and Sweets. Breakfast, what was that, $4.50?
Yeah.
$4.50, lunch $15, and evening snack.
I think it's bad. I think it's $1.
That's $14 for breakfast. $14.50 for breakfast.
It's $4.50. That's $1.
Okay, yeah. All right, $4.50 for breakfast, $5 for lunch, and $2.50 for eating snack. Well, I blotched that, didn't I?
Well, it's not written, to be fair, it's not written real plain. The dollar sign just shows one.
Well, I was struggling with that now.
All right.
I've got a bid from Rolling Chefs LLC. Breakfast $375, lunch $550, and evening snack $275.
$275.
Yes, sir.
About the same, dude.
Okay.
What's your total? This is $12 for the total if you put them all 3 together. $4.50, $5.50, $9.50, and $2.50 would be $12.
$6, $11.50.
$12.
You were $12.
Both of them $12.
Yeah, that's what I took for the total on it.
What you gonna do, break a straw?
I'll make a motion, we turn them over to the county administrator and the jail administrator for review.
We're going to take action on these tonight? Okay. Let David look in. Okay.
I second Commissioner Dorsey's motion.
Okay, we got a motion to second. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. Okay. Next is Class B, off-premises consumption beer and wine license renewal for the Max Saver to be effective 1/31/2022.
This is one that came up in December. We got a violation that had made it through the court system right before the meeting of selling to a minor. It's his first offense by the ordinance that carries a 30-day suspension.
Can we approve that ahead of time, though? What I'm saying is suspension's not over to the 31st, what I read in here, right?
Correct. You can do that and make his license effective the 31st.
That was just the only question I had. Can we do it ahead of time?
Yeah, you can approve it, but it won't become effective till the 31st. As a matter of fact, I talked to him, he's not going to pick them up till the 1st of February.
Did we notify him in writing that his license was denied, his approval?
Yes, we did.
And he didn't appeal?
On December 17th. He didn't appeal. I have spoken with his attorney. Walter has spoken with his attorney. Under the guidance of the ordinance specifically saying a 30-day suspension, they chose not to appeal.
But we couldn't suspend his license for 30 days. That's the problem, because they expired December 31st.
That's true, and that's true. That was the point I tried to make December 3rd when we were on that meeting. I got to suspend them, but if you don't renew them, how am I supposed to suspend
And
them?
we couldn't approve him because he had a pending charge. That's what's stated in the ordinance as well. He had a charge. That's all been taken care of now.
He had a current charge, correct.
So I don't see how we can approve it because we don't have an application in front of us. The fee that's associated with it is not paid until the license is actually granted. So if you make him go through the approval process, it's not going to cost him anything other than the fact he's got to advertise it. But it's the first time we've had this happen at this time of the year.
This is application, but it was received November 11th.
Right,
But you
correct.
denied that application in December.
That was a renewal. I'm not sure they considered the same as a new application, not that was a renewal application.
But the other thing about that too, I mean, if you make him go back and reapply, you done added 30 more days to his suspension, and where the suspension only required for 30 days. That's my problem. Is that fair? I mean,
Is it fair they broke the law?
no, it's not. And he's going to get punished for what our ordinance says for 30-day suspension. But now we're making it into a 60-day suspension because he's going to have to reapply, and it takes 30 days to.
You're adding another meeting to that as well, right? So it'll be up more than 30 days, what I'm saying.
If you go through the advertising, I got advertised for 30 days.
Yeah, after he applies.
No, as they make the application, they have to
Well,
do
that's
that.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they was already selling.
But they haven't sold anything since midnight, December the 31st.
I understand, but he's been selling how many years now? So they got to go back and advertise again?
That would be part of the application process.
I know, but that don't make no sense. Sorry. And I knew that. I remember reading it in the ordinance.
The smart thing for him to have done would have been to appeal the denial. You still have an application in front of you. But I just don't see how you can approve a license when you don't have an application, unless you rescind the vote to deny.
Well, I mean, I know this is, we do have an application in front of us, but it was, and the only thing that would change on this application would be the dates. I mean,
And then just to give you a heads up, we got 2 more of these coming. The other 2 were 60-day suspensions.
But then they still got plenty of time to get it right.
well, I hate to deny him because he's done his 30 days.
And you punish them twice, really.
Are we breaking any laws
Well, slight.
if we approve it?
Setting a standard.
Set the precedence.
We've done this before. We've made people go back through the application process. That's all I don't remember exactly where it was or what it was, but I do know that has been the case before.
I looked for that. I couldn't find it anywhere. We're in the minutes, of course. A lot of times it's searching the minutes don't show up everything. But
And if you look on page 2, there is a question that would be changed on the application.
which question is that? I'm sorry.
The back side of the page, you talking about?
Yeah. The 4th paragraph down. I have a big problem with that.
I must not have the whole copy of everything.
Have you been convicted, pled guilty? Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. That's not the same charge, is it?
No, it's
He done a statement when he done his application that charge was out there pending.
In April?
In April?
Yes, sir.
April 1st, it says.
April.
What is that?
April 1st.
No, I was talking about it. We had him do a written statement when he made the application for renewal, a written statement about the pending charges against him that hadn't been adjudicated yet, because they come in November.
Come here.
Yep, that's right.
That was the date of the charge.
April 1st.
Well, okay, well, I'll get to the court.
Yeah, it was COVID year, wasn't it?
And matter of fact, there's 4 of them. We still ain't got one of them back through the court system yet.
I don't have a problem approving
Court
it.
system.
Huh?
When did this go through the court system?
Well, if they, I mean, I got the court papers out here. The final,
I don't have a problem approving it as long as we're not breaking any laws.
the final court date was 9/31/21.
So the court date was 9/31/21.
From the charge.
That's
that
not a
was-
date. 9/30
I'm
maybe?
sorry, 9/30/21. And at that time, he pled no low and paid a $500 fine.
Bright lights up in.
So why did it take that long to get to us? Because if that had been the case, we
I
could have
agree with you.
suspended it, and we wouldn't be in the situation that we're in today.
I agree with it 100%, but when it gets to the court and it gets sent from the court to us, and then we take action on it.
Commissioner Bennett, did you put that in form of motion, or you just?
No, I said I don't have a problem with it as long as we're not breaking any laws. I don't know the laws there.
Well, you don't have an
Councilman may know the
application.
law there.
You don't have an application. The ordinance says you have to have an application.
I think we should follow the ordinance.
Well, what's wrong with this application?
It's already been voted on, and which is denied.
Well, what would be changed if we, that's what I'm getting at.
Well,
I
that's
mean,
what
we're
I'm
going to
saying.
get
You'd have
the
to
same
rescind your
paper
vote.
back and vote on the same. But like I said, I don't know that it is a unique situation. I mean, it'd been nice if we could have done the suspension back in November,
Again, I say,
December.
until we get official notification from the court that they've been
Yeah.
found guilty or pled guilty,
Yeah.
a charge, they're not guilty. I mean, they're just,
Let me ask you a question.
and there's one still hanging in the court, I'm telling you. It's,
When you sent a letter to them saying that we denied the application, did that letter tell them that they had to reapply?
no, it was not included, there's a letter, it was not included in that letter that was approved by Walter.
Then if we had to have another application, it should have been in there telling him that he had to reapply.
Well, the letter should have stated that his application was denied. That was the action taken by the board.
But it should have said it's going to be suspended 30 days, in which you would have to reapply.
You could not grant him a license because of what was pending out there. That's
Well,
the
he's
problem.
done his 30 days. Did we give him?
He hasn't done his 30
but-
days.
But did we give him notice that he needed to reapply prior to the 30-day suspension? Or after the 30-day
The
suspension?
problem is his license expired December 31st.
I understand, but.
So he has no license. The only way he can get a license after it's expired is to reapply.
I understand, but we suspended, give him his 30-day suspension.
No, we haven't done anything to suspend his license.
But he has not been able to sell.
He has, because we did not approve the renewal of his license, which would have been effective January 1.
That's one of the technicalities.
That's all it is. He just didn't know he's supposed to come back and
No, you're
reapply.
setting a precedence. If you approve this
understand.
license tonight on no application, you might as well throw your ordinance away, because you're not going to have an application. You're basically saying anybody can have a beer and wine license without an application because you don't have one here in front of you guys. That's the point I'm trying to
I
make.
understand. I thought
Why is this
levied
application
this
bad, though, is
suspension.
what I'm trying to figure out.
Because it's already been acted on.
You know what, the 11th day of November?
The next application is going to look just like this one. I mean, it's going to be application for the license year 2022, just like this says.
Section 6-42, each applicant shall apply to the clerk for a license required by Section 641 by written application on forms approved by the board. All questions and information requested on the application form shall be filled in and subscribed to by all applicants under oath. All applications must be filed at least 30 days prior to the date considered by the board.
Well, this fits.
Does that cover this situation? That's absolutely true for a new application.
I don't think you can look at it any other way because he does not have a license. It has expired, and his application for renewal was denied.
Well, we had this one since November the 11th.
And you voted to deny it on December 14th.
Yeah. Because he was suspended.
No, he was not suspended.
We never did
We
suspend
didn't
him.
suspend him, that's right.
We had, well, again, it takes, once we get down our hand, it takes a few days for Walter to look over everything and take action.
When we sent out the letter, it should have told them plainly that he must reapply.
I did, that was not,
At the
again,
end of December.
before I sent this letter out, it was proved by Walter, and this would,
Well, I know that, ain't nobody perfect, I ain't throwing off on anybody, but we need to direct people in the direction they need to take.
That's what I was speaking of earlier. We didn't tell him what the man what he's supposed to do. So I think as much as our fault as it is his, I guess.
I agree, I don't believe in punishing somebody 2 times. Well, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
There's also a clause in this ordinance about 12 months.
So he don't even qualify to fill out an application?
Well, I think the intent here is to do the 30 days. I understand that, but the problem is we don't have an application to, because if you look at the application part, it says all applications, all applications.
Well, other
Let me
than,
ask a question. If this happened in the middle of the year, and we got caught in June, we would suspend his license from June until July. Correct. Would he have to reapply at that time?
No, you wouldn't suspend his, no, you wouldn't suspend his license then. You'd have to wait till it went through the court system, then.
No, I'm talking about after
if
it's
he
done
was
been in
found
the court
guilty on that date, it
If
would
it's
be.
done went to the court system, and we found out about it, and we say, okay, you can't sell no beer from July 1 to July the 3rd, would he have to reapply?
No.
Well, I think his problem was he got caught up here in the renewal process.
You right there.
Where's the application that you have not acted on? I think if you're going to do that, you're going to have to rescind the vote from December 14th and then take action on this application.
Don't matter to me. I'm not willing to punish a man twice. because
Well, I'm not either, but I mean, it is what it
If it
is.
happened in the middle of the year, he would not have to reapply. So it's just kind of the way it happened, and it was a court system.
And I questioned this situation that night when y'all made that vote. How am I supposed to do this?
Excuse me. Was you putting that in a form of motion, Commissioner Dorsey, to rescind the December 14th?
whoever who made the
Whoever made the motion has to do it.
rescind it. We'll have to look it up in minutes, unless y'all remember.
I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning.
And I can't see it.
And I know
I mean-
every last 3
The
meetings.
the problem is, you're setting a precedence if you approve this, because you don't have an application. And I hate to say that, I don't mean to harp on it, but the next one that comes in here that doesn't have a complete application, you can't deny them. If there's problems with the application, I don't think you can deny them, because you're setting a precedence going forward by approving a license, if you do it, with no application.
I disagree 100% because, like I said, if it happened in the middle of the year, they do not have to reapply.
I
It
just,
just happened because, okay, he had to
All right, let me-
reapply because it was a new year.
Let me ask you this, Commissioner Carter. So you're saying that if it happened in June, it went through the court system in July, we'd suspend them 30 days?
Yeah, and they-
How would this board suspend his license?
Suspended by a vote.
But we suspend the license, just tell them they can't have it. Because you just said that they don't have to reapply, so that you didn't suspend their license.
No.
You just disallowed them to sell alcohol.
You haven't disallowed them.
how would the board need to?
So how would you handle that, the suspension?
Just like we have the rest of it.
This board would vote to suspend for 30 days, right? Has this board voted to suspend his license for 30 days?
Why would you vote? It's in the ordinance.
What do you mean? You have to. The board
Well,
has to take
we have
action.
in the past.
I mean, it's in the ordinance that you suspend it for 30 days. Why does the board have to vote on it?
Yeah, it would have to
has
come
to
before
vote
the
on it.
board to be voted on. I couldn't take that action on my own. It'd have to come from the board.
Well, somebody did. He thinks they did, isn't it?
Well, that question was asked that night, and me, along with Walter, came up with this solution. It's the only way we could do it at that time.
And in the past, when they've been suspended, it's after 30 days. It's after 30 days because it can only be done in a regular meeting. It can't be done in a call meeting. So really and technically, I think we shouldn't even be discussing this till the first meeting in February.
Why's that?
That's up, yeah.
Because if you're going to consider this January time period his suspension period, you're talking about letting him have a license February 1st. We've never done that.
He's been suspended since January.
He has not been suspended. This board has not taken
He's not
action
been
to
allowed to
suspend.
sell.
Okay.
You can say it that way.
You say it any way you want. Without this board voting on it.
But I still fail to see what's wrong with this application. I know we voted tonight at that time, but this is a different day, and I just don't see. I mean, it's the application for 2022. That's going to be on the next application. I mean, all this information is going to be on the same thing. I make a motion, we approve.
I'll give you a second.
You're setting a very dangerous precedent, fellas. So when the next person comes in here and doesn't have an application, what are you going to tell
They got
them?
an application, Joey.
No, they don't, Marshall.
I don't see what's wrong with this one.
You denied it.
What's going to be different on the next one?
Just a date.
I mean, I just don't think it's fair to the guy to,
So we really hadn't even voted to suspend them.
That's right. You haven't done
We
anything.
denied his
You haven't taken any action to punish him, and when you go back and research the minutes, there's nothing going to be reflected that there was a suspension here.
why?
I'd rather go back and rescind the vote if that's what we're going to do.
Don't we have a meeting next Tuesday night?
That's a call to me.
Can't do it in a call meeting.
Can't do it in a call meeting.
We got a motion, second. Any other discussion? All right, I made the motion. Commissioner Carter made the second.
So how are you going to handle the suspension part that the ordinance says we have to do, and it hasn't happened? And only this board can take that. That's got to be part of the motion.
Well, it's happened.
It hasn't happened.
We hadn't voted on it.
He hadn't been able to sell beers or wine or whatever he's selling since January 1.
You did not suspend, and your ordinance clearly says suspension. You denied
Then why-
because you had a
why is he
charge.
being punished without this board voting on it? It's just a screw up all the way around.
No.
It is.
Making that one.
And if you read the ordinance, it says the minimum penalty shall be as follows. For the first offense, 30 days license suspension.
Well, if it would approved his license in December, we could have suspended him and would have it all in order.
That's what I said. I think
And we
much
wouldn't
our
be
fault
talking about
is.
this right now.
Yeah. As much our fault as his.
I mean, maybe we can learn from it.
Okay, we got a motion, second on the floor.
Totally disagree. Setting a dangerous precedent, gentlemen.
Yeah, I don't see anything wrong with this application.
So there's also a clause in here too. No license shall be granted for an existing building or establishment having a history or reputation for prostitution or other laws or offensive practices, violent activities, gambling, illegal dealing in alcoholic beverages or drugs, or other violations of the law. By history or reputation, it's meant that within the 12 months preceding the filing of the application and provided the business is now owned, managed, or in any way connected to the person operating the establishment during such time the offense occurred. So really, you shouldn't even be able to get a license for 12 months.
Yeah, we've never done that before either.
That's what your ordinance says.
But precedents have been set that we've allowed them.
It conflicts with the suspension. I don't disagree.
Yeah. All right, we got a motion on the floor. Motion second. All in favor? All opposed? Okay.
So the next person comes in and wants a license, we give it to them. That's what we do.
Not
If they
necessarily.
pass everything's in order.
They qualify.
All right, well, fire turnout gear bid opening.
You can give mine to somebody else that's got problem glasses.
You can give mine to somebody that knows more about it.
We got 5 of them, y'all.
I need a pair of binoculars, apparently.
Everybody get one. They pay $5 then.
Yeah,
We'll give you a little bit of one.
gosh,
Took me about 15 minutes getting that
I
last
ain't never,
envelope over.
I ain't never struggled with nothing like that. I might have to defer to the second half here.
We got a bid from Georgia Fire and Rescue Supply, $144,600. They're in Canton, Georgia.
This one is Central Alabama Training Solutions. Their bid is $144,800. Coat and pants, $23.50. Helmet, $234, I think. Look at that, Frank. Let's give you 10 minutes forward.
Nah, you better get Marshall to look at it.
Gloves, $89, hood, $49, and boot, $169.
Okay.
I want to go back. I don't know there's 2 bids in here from the same company. One's for $144,600 and another one for $154,484.
From 2 different companies.
Same company.
There's a little difference on there.
I got one here from North America Fire Equipment. It's got $2,429.53 per head to toe set. And the total 50 sets is $121,476.50. So you can order from them, I guess, as many sets as you want at that rate.
Well, the bid was for 50.
Yes.
What was asking for, yeah.
You want me to go ahead here? It's fire line and no bid. That was simple.
That's why you get that. All right, we got Bennett Fire Products Company Incorporated. It's $129,750.
Get Harold.
Get a motion for Chief and Terrell.
Second.
Got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey, and a second by Commissioner Carter. Any discussion? Yeah. All right. All in favor? All right.
Check it out.
All right, next.
High class one there.
Next on the agenda is wheel loader bid opening.
We received 3 bids on the loader.
You say we had 5 bids. What's on this sheet right here? It says 4. Do you know that?
No bid.
Frankie, yeah, that's the reason he got that.
That's the reason it was written so big
I
letter.
had 2 in there.
Yeah, he had 2 in here.
We've got actually 2 bids, 2 different company bids. One bid on 2 different loaders. 2 different model number loaders.
Marshall, get your binoculars out. And what is this called? Hold it for a minute.
Don't want one of them.
What is that?
You gotta keep them cooler in there.
Yeah, that's it right there, 160, what is that, 57?
$167,050.
This is from Flint, $167,050.
Well, I got one right here that's from Yancey Brothers, which is Caterpillar. $149,975. Alternate one credit for trade-in of the existing used Caterpillar 1978 Model 20 loader, that's $7,000.
You said that was from Flint?
Yeah, Flint.
He had a trade-in value too. I guess we need to
Yeah, we'll take all that into consideration once.
trade in. On this was $7,450.
Yeah, that's what I got from Flint, 700.
Oh, you got one from Flint too?
Yeah, $7,450.
I think it was for two different model number loaders.
Yeah, this is 920, I don't know what that is.
Okay, get a motion, Terrell and Shannon, look these over and get back with us.
So moved.
Got a motion by Commissioner Teasley, got a second by Commissioner Carter. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. All right. Next on the agenda is job description for EMS.
You have in your packet, at the last meeting, regular meeting, the EMS director came in and asked them for questions to consider a different level, or lower level certification. They'll ask for job descriptions. He went back and redone the job descriptions and matched the state scope of practice for each level, and that's what these are. We used to not have but two, but now there's three or four. I think it's four of them it's gotten there now for different levels. And this is just to approve the job descriptions. We'll tackle the salaries and the pay later.
Should there be something in here about certifications?
It should be right at the top.
Yeah, I've read all that, about what they're capable of performing.
Yeah, I mean, their license certifications renewed every 2 years, or if it lapses, they're gone anyway.
It's not in here.
You can't be on the truck without certification.
It's not in here.
About their certification level,
I don't see it, not on the top.
it should be an EMT, EMTI, EMTA.
It says parameters for the scope of practice, but
Correct.
I mean, you've got to have a license to, you got to be licensed.
You got to have a license to be considered anyway. Or like I said, you lose your license, you're gone.
I would like to see that put in here, that way it's clear.
In state law, we'll put them there.
Well, regardless, it needs to be in the job description.
I got a question on line 3. It says major duty response to non-emergency assistance calls. I thought all you call was emergencies.
No. We have a lot of public assist calls. We run a lot of emergency too,
Yeah,
but
high school football game.
yeah, stuff like that. We don't run non-emergency transports. That's absolutely true.
Okay, Commissioner Dorsey wants, what she's at, license verification, what you?
I just think it needs to be in there, it must be licensed through the state of Georgia. I mean, it says scope, but.
Okay.
It also says emergency medical technician. Somebody wrote in a B. I'm assuming that's
That's a
it ain't
basic.
tacked on there.
It's not.
I presume that's the basics.
Yeah. See?
All these job descriptions make the same thing.
Same thing. It's just the scope. The only thing's different scope of practice. They all do basically the same thing.
Okay, can we get a motion to adopt these with Commissioner Dorsey's amendment?
So
Okay, got a motion by Commissioner Carter,
Second.
got a second by Commissioner Dorsey. Any other discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. Okay, next on the agenda, has he figured anything out?
Yeah, he has. He's looked over them. They're both the same price, daily price.
Let's wait till after executive session before we do that.
We got how many days on?
After executive session tonight.
Oh, okay. We can do that.
Okay. All right, then we'll move on to new business. Hazardous Waste Trust Fund resolution.
This is the same resolution we do every year to get some financial help from the federal and the state monies for managing our landfill. It's closed, but we still have to do a lot of routine maintenance and everything to it. This grant usually is somewhere around $50,000, the best I remember.
All right.
So moved.
Second.
Accepts it.
We got a motion, I guess, to authorize me to sign it. And
Yep, accept it.
Okay. And any other discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? 5-0 vote. Okay, next in the agenda is Distilled Spirits application 2022, John Robinson Tilly's Tiki Bar and Grill.
Correct. This is the newest, older established restaurant, but under new management, new owners. It was approved for his beer and wine license in December. Everything's in order for its malt beer for liquor license.
Make a motion to approve.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Dorsey, second by Commissioner Carter. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? 5-0 vote. All right, next on the agenda is the Judicial Council.
And what you see in your packet is Judge Malcolm applied for a grant through the judicial system in Georgia to help with the backload of cases because of COVID. He was awarded most of what he asked for. Like all grants, you don't get everything, but he got the most of it. And basically what this does is it's extra days for bailiffs, extra days for jurors, extra days for a judge. And the way it'll work, we have a budget amount in our budget for the regular court term. Those line items, if they can schedule these extra cases, will run over the budget amount, but that amount's turned around and sent back to Judge Malcolm. He signs off on them, it's sent back through this grant, and we're reimbursed for it. So that's the way the grant will work. It don't come directly to us. It comes through the judicial system, and they turn around and reimburse us. So there's really no action that we need to take other than if you want to okay for the line items to run over. That would be the only thing. It's mainly for informational purposes.
$50,000 or so, wasn't it?
Yeah, for Hart County. This is for the whole jurisdiction, and I just kind of broke out in that little note I wrote on it about what I added up for Hart County would come out, would be about somewhere around $50,000.
Do any of the commissioners feel there's a need to vote on budget overage?
No, nothing we can control over it.
Right, this will take care of it, so
That's what I say.
it's just a matter of information.
Right.
All right, we come to the point where we ask for public comment. Does anyone like to speak in public comment at this time?
Good evening, gentlemen. My name is Joan, and I had two items. The first one is I brought up in November about the parking lot at the Adult Learning Center being made handicap friendly. Is anything happening on that?
Just to be honest, I thought it was already done. To be honest, I thought the grant had already been put in. Wait a minute.
It hasn't been done.
Wait a minute. You talking about the downstairs that's right?
No, I'm talking the parking lot to the pavement.
I thought that.
You cannot access
I
it.
understand that, but I thought we already taken care of that.
Well, it hasn't been done. That's what I'm asking about.
We'll have it.
Yeah, because we have a member of AARP. She had to be helped by several people to get onto the pavement, pick her power chair up, and put it on the pavement for her to make access.
So that was already laid out to be done, and I apologize for not being done. I'll double check
Okay, thank you. My neighbor, I'm at the HUD housing. She called me last night. She said, have you been by 29 past the Purina company? And I said, go by it regularly when I go to Royston. She said, Sunday morning, the foul air was absolutely horrible. Sunday evening, people could barely breathe. It was so bad. And I'm wondering if there's something could be addressed with Purina. She said it's coming from them. I don't know how she knows this, but that's what she has stated. And if anything could be addressed with them as to handling why the foul odor.
We are currently, Commissioner Dorsey and I have been in communication with those folks tremendously throughout, the last 3 or 4 years. And
The last 2 years, for sure.
They have been taking action to address, there's two kind of odors out there. There's a cooking odor and then there's a septic odor. And Mr. Silva, who is the plant manager, has told us that he is striving to be 100% odor-free. Now, that's what we're being told. And they are spending a lot of money and trying to achieve that. It has not been achieved at this point, but there's a lot of factors that's involved where, okay, they put up a water treatment plant, and because the city's water treatment plant wouldn't handle it, and that's new to them. So, but they are addressing it, but they do have mishaps that happen from time to time. And Commissioner Dorsey, you can go ahead.
I mean, they've spent millions of dollars on odor abatement. They're tracking data. They've actually got an email set up that if somebody's got an odor, and we've been giving that out, they do respond to that. And it's basically so that they can try to correlate an odor concern with a significant event. They've actually had community meetings with the neighbors, multiple meetings. They are working to be a good neighbor, and as with anything, I mean, there's going to be odors with anything we do.
Right.
And what's offensive to one may not be offensive to another. I mean, a lot of the product they cook inside the can, it's already sealed up. And they do it with steam. We've been in there several times, and I feel like they're working to make progress, but it's not happening fast enough for some people.
I'll let my neighbor know this, so appreciate it.
And the problem is there are multiple things that can go wrong. It's not just one root cause. What may be offensive to you may not be offensive to somebody else. And,
right.
What's a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 5 to you, maybe a 9 to somebody else. So, but they are working on it, and they've got resources coming throughout the whole company here. So, I mean, it is being
I'll certainly
addressed.
let my neighbors know, because they go to the church and they come out and...
Well, and for clarification, the reason Commissioner Dorsey and I have been involved with this, it's according to which way the wind's blowing. If the wind's blowing this way, it's in District 5. He gets all the calls. If it's blowing the other way, it's in District 3, and I get the calls. So, and there's been several occasions where we've
been out there hours at a time
and trying to, trying to find solutions. And I would say that it's better now than it has been.
I mean, we have not had a complaint in a while.
Now,
Not saying that it's not smelling, but we have not been, because we get copied on the emails.
Well, like I said, I'll let my neighbors know, because they go to the church over there, and they called me this, did you ever? And I said, I do it. I regularly go by when I'm going into Royston coming home.
right.
So, but I'll let them know that it's being worked on.
Right, it is.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, anyone else for public comment? All right, if not, can we get a motion to go into executive session, real estate litigation and personnel?
So moved.
All right, we got a motion by Commissioner Teagle, second by Commissioner Dorsey. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's a 5-0 vote. Executive session and move back into regular meeting. Okay, we got a motion motion by Commissioner Carter, we got a second. We got a second by Commissioner Teasley, all in favor? It's a 5-0 vote.
I'll make a motion that we authorize the county administrator and county attorney to write a letter of intent regarding a lease that we discussed about in executive session.
I'll second it. Okay, we got a motion and a second. Any discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's a 5-0 vote.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Okay, we got a motion to adjourn. I'll second
Wait,
it.
we got one thing we need to address the jail meals.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
how about that? My bad, Dave.
David and my recommendation is Rolling Shelf. It's an established business we're familiar with, and it's the same, both bids are the same price.
I'll make a motion, we'll go with Rolling Shelf. All right, we got a
How
motion.
long the contract is that going to be?
It'll be a normal contract's a year. We got a 60-day clause to get in and out, so
What about as far as them vacating the contract?
Same difference, 60 days.
Okay.
So the contract needs to be through the end of the year, basically.
yeah, it's 12 months. All my contracts are
A year.
12 months.
Okay, I made a motion, Commissioner Carter made a second. Any other discussion? If not, we'll call for a vote. All in favor? It's 5-0 vote. Okay.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Now we got a motion to adjourn, and a second by Commissioner Teasley. All in favor? And we'll be back.